Next up on WTV, the return of lecture hall, students working to get service cords, CTE Center passes, today's Sports Minute, and the second day of Freedom Week. WTV's Daily Update starts now. Good morning, Red Hawk Nation. Today is Tuesday, September 12th, and I'm Neha Perumalla with another daily update brought to you by Wingspan TV. With just a few weeks into the school year, some students are already working towards their service cords. WTV's Marissa Udine has the details.
Although service hours are not required for graduation, students who earn at least 100 hours of volunteer work have the opportunity to be recognized and receive a cord at graduation. Students must submit all service hours on X2 Vault immediately after working their hours. Hours are first approved by their volunteer coordinator and then approved by Counseling Secretary Shannon Webb.
When that happens, I get notification on my side that they're ready to be approved, and I'll make sure that they follow the FISD guidelines for volunteer hours, and if they do, I will go ahead and approve them. All hours have to be verified and approved, or they will not count towards the 100 hours of community service.
Anyone can submit hours in order to be eligible for a service cord as long as they submit all 100 hours before April 1st of their senior year. For more information, visit the counselor's website. Reporting for Wingspan TV, I'm Marissa Udine.
The new school year means a new room for Humanities and the return of lecture hall. WTV's Miyuki Matus has the story.
Out with the old, in with the new. Kind of. Humanities is a class that requires extra space due to a combined class of freshmen and sophomores, with about 45 students per class. Last year, the Humanities classes established the lecture hall as home base, but now they have transferred to rooms C-152 and 154, where the wall was partially knocked down to make it one room.
One of the biggest effects is that we have two teachers in the classroom. It's called co-teaching, and so me and Mrs. Evans work together. A lot of times one of us will be directly teaching while the other one is checking in and conferencing with individuals, or just like checking for homework and that sort of a thing.
Meanwhile, the lecture hall is back to serve its original purpose, as the school needs an open space in order to hold large group meetings.
The biggest motivation for moving, I think both for me and Mrs. Rainwater, was that we wanted to make sure that the lecture hall was available for people to use for its intended purpose. So combined lectures, club meetings, other large group activities. And then the other reason is we just really needed more flexible space between the heavy furniture and the steps in the lecture hall. It didn't allow for much movement, so we couldn't have discussions. It was hard to do group projects where people could spread out.
The school also wanted to follow the trend of other FISD schools and have a multi-purpose or flex space.
Yeah, the new room is working out really well. We love the flexibility to be able to rearrange desks, to spread out, and we love how quiet the chairs are because the chairs in the lecture hall are too noisy.
Sophomore Tiffany Truong discusses her view on the room change.
I like the old Humanities classroom better because the board was a lot bigger and you could see it, but the new classroom is less cluttered, so everyone has more.
This is Miyuki Matus reporting for WTV.
Students are now required to have a pass before going off campus. Yesterday, the wrong story aired for CTE Center passes. WTV's Julia Savage has the story. Volleyball takes on Centennial at home tonight. Here's today's Sports Minute.
Starting off the season with a 5-set loss to Wakeland, the Red Hawks look to bounce back against Centennial tonight, continuing their District 13 5A play. They look to improve their record and continue their road to playoffs. Though Centennial's team is relatively young, they will still put up a challenge against the Redhawks. We sit down with Coach Uwe Womble to see how they prepared for tonight's game.
We're really excited to play Centennial. It's always a team that we're big rivals with, so it'll be exciting to get out there. We're just working on tuning up our game, making sure our serve-receive is on point, and that we are really executing plays out of our defense. That's what we did today during practice.
The volleyball team looks to take on the Titans tonight at the Nest at 6:45. This has been Maddie D'Addario with Wingspan TV.
This week is Freedom Week, and every day WTV will be taking a look at the sacrifices made in the name of freedom. WTV's Divya Murali has a story.
What is the big deal about the Bill of Rights? How does it affect your life? If you don't know, ask a person who was involved in the civil rights movement, or a person who was allowed to participate in any religion they wanted, or a person who was arrested and got their due process. According to the Bill of Rights, these people were guaranteed the right to protest, to participate in any religion they wanted, and to have a right to defend themselves if arrested. Fearing that the central government was given too much power by the U.S. Constitution, the Bill of Rights was added to spell out the immunities or freedoms of individual citizens. The intent of the first 10 amendments was to protect the rights of citizens from their government and guarantee us our unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Since then, it has protected the rights of citizens from housing soldiers during wartime. It has allowed you and others to speak, write, and protest about things the government has done that you do not agree with. And if arrested, you will not receive cruel and unusual punishment. So what's the big deal about the Bill of Rights? Read the Bill of Rights and see how it affects your everyday life to see what the big deal is about. I'm Divya Murali with Wingspan TV.
If you're looking for more from Wingspan, you can follow us at Liberty Wingspan on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and visit our award-winning website, libertywingspan.com. Please stay tuned for today's announcements. Volleyball plays Centennial at home today at 6:45. Homecoming nominations end Wednesday. The link to nominate will be sent to your school email. The college fair will be held tomorrow. Auditions for show choir will take place tomorrow and end Friday. Prepare a few measures of your favorite song and see Mr. Stevenson before or after school in room F124. The Math Honor Society has its first meeting tomorrow during advisory period in room C218. FFA is having its first meeting tomorrow in room E101 during the advisory period. Pulse is hosting a Stomp Out Stress Yoga tomorrow during the advisory period. Whiteout Spirit shirts will be available for pickup Thursday before school and during advisory period in room E100 and during all lunches in the cafeteria. Football is having a fundraiser tomorrow from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Chipotle on Custer. Mention Liberty Football and a proceed of the sales will go to football's Booster Club. The Spanish Club will have its first meeting Friday during the advisory period in room C210. That's it for today's daily update. This has been Neha Perumalla for Wingspan TV.